Hey Internet, Eric here. Well, Shark Week continues on the channel. What I'm going to try to do is one day, or each day, how would I say this? Every day this week, I'm going to try to have a shark movie related video thrown up for you guys to watch, enjoy, however you want to say that. I'm going to try to do it Sunday through Saturday, ending with a live watch along of Shark Exorcist. Anyways, yesterday, Bloody Sunday, I discussed the death from Jaws, the epic Jaws movie, and I figured why not stick with the franchise. I haven't discussed any of the other sequels. I have only discussed the first one, so I'm going to jump literally back into the water. I'm going to talk Jaws 2. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Let's see, get rid of, there you go. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This came out in 1978, I believe. I don't know. 1978. Excuse the hell out of me. Basic plot of this: we're following the Brody family again. I don't know how many years afterwards, after the first one, this is taking place, and a shark just happens to mosey on into Amity once again. This time, tourists are coming in because they're opening a new hotel, and it's basically now Chief Brody has to stop a shark attack, save people. Basically the first one all over again, just now instead of it being 4th of July weekend, it's a hotel and all that jazz. How do I say this? I liked it. I didn't love it. Here's why. It's hard to follow up Jaws because Jaws was so fantastic. And you know what? This is basically the same movie because you have some returning characters, you have a returning idea. You're following the same family. I don't know if you can hear the laundry in the other room going, but the magic is already gone. Roy Scheider as Chief Brody, he's okay. I mean, I know there was some behind-the-scenes stuff. He didn't want to be there. This movie was literally a contract obligation. He kind of phones it in for a lot of it, and you can tell. His wife is back, the same actress. I think her name was Lorraine Gray. She's just there. They have a good chemistry. They're real flirty and lovey. They have some good scenes together when they're being husband and wife and stuff like that. But she's just there. And then you have the same asshole mayor coming back for a handful of scenes, and he's good at being the asshole. Now, the problem is with the first film, we got to know these characters. And the main characters were Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss. And they had great chemistry, and we fell in love with those people right away. The way they worked with each other, the way they studied, trying to figure out what's going on with the shark attack, blah, 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 blah. The main characters we follow here, if it's not Roy Scheider, is his sons and his sons' friends. And you don't give two shits about them. You don't really know about them. You know what I mean? Because they're always just together partying. You have the pretty girls, you got the kind of overweight, dorky guy, and then you have the two nerds. One of them was played by Keith Gordon from Christine and Back to School, but he's there just to be the dork, the outcast. I mean, we see him, and, you know, instead of partying, he's reading a book and gets hit with a water balloon, or he's trying to pump up his raft, and he pumps up too much, and poof, ha, ha, ha. You know, it pops in his face. It's just, these characters are just there. You don't really give two shits about them to begin with, and then when the shark comes, you don't want them to get eaten, but you don't care if they get eaten, and then when certain ones get to eaten, you're just like, oh, okay, which one was that? So that's a major disappointment. What else is there to this movie? Not much. I mean, there's some memorable scenes. Don't get me wrong. The scene that I always remembered when I was a kid, I hadn't seen this movie probably in 30 years, if not longer. The scene which was very memorable was where, I don't know if it was Mike, who is the older brother, he and his girlfriend are walking on the beach, but guy and a girl are walking on the beach, and they see a killer whale that has just been mauled on by a shark. And it's just so disgusting. Piece of the face is missing, stomach is chewed up, and that is what gets Brody. He already thinks something's going on because a couple divers have been missing, and that was an interesting I'll get to that scene. But a couple divers have been missing, and now they think that a shark is there because now you have that interesting scene of where the expert is measuring the bite marks in this and that, and then they find out that it's a shark. You know, what we already knew. There's a couple scenes where Brody's getting more and more paranoid. He's in the crow's nest or whatever you want to call it, and he gets everybody out because he thinks a shark is coming, and it's like a school of fish. And then he gets, you know, he has this whole scene where he's telling everybody a shark's here, you know, blah 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 blah, and he gets fired. He goes, gets drunk, comes home. It's a sad scene because he lost his job, and he shows up, and his wife is there with the deputy. There's no hanky-panky going on, no, none of that stuff, but he's just so defeated. So you do feel bad for Chief Brody. But, again, like I said, there's not much to this movie. There's not a lot of memorable scenes up until when finally Jaws starts attacking the kids. And that's when there's like maybe 20 minutes left of this movie. This movie's 2 hours. But when the attacks happen, it's good. Like, there's a couple... Well, you know what? There are a couple scenes that I just remembered happened because they're so spread out from when the major shit happens. There is a cool scene where a water skier is attacked, bitten, eaten underwater by Jaws, and the woman who drives, she's driving the boat, she spills gasoline all over herself and all over Jaws, shoots Jaws with a flare gun. Jaws gets set on fire, and then the boat explodes, and she gets crispy crittered. That's memorable. And then there's a scene where two kids are making out, and then Jaws attacks them. He gets eaten. That's an interesting scene. He's swimming. He gets knocked out of the boat. He's swimming towards the boat. Jaws is coming. You get that cool overhead shot of how big Jaws is, seeing him in the water. But then you have this, you know, the actress just this lame acting. Hurry up, Brad, or whatever the fuck his name is. It's a shark. The shark's coming. It's awful. But it's a scene I always remembered. He gets up on the side of the boat, and he's yanked down, breaks the boat, and then blood everywhere. And then when the shit hits the fan at the end, you know, we got one or two of the kids are eating. Chick, I don't even remember who it was. It wasn't important. But it was cool how Jaws was killed because there was some foreshadowing. A boat was digging up garbage or something like that. They dug up a power line, and of course, Brody, really, really smart, trying to get the shark's attention. He finds the power line, and he has like an oar or something. He's hitting the power line, so the echo goes down into the water, and you hear that echo underwater. Tracks Jaws' attention. Boom, he comes, bites the electrical cord. No, not the electrical. You know what I just fucking said. Bites that, electrocuted, caught on fire. Great effect. Great effect. I love it because you get to see the shark on fire. You get to see flames coming out of the mouth, and it's just engulfed. Great effect. Now, problems with this movie, like I said, other than the fact that you don't really give a shit about the characters, the kids, then you have the deputy, who is one of the dumbest people I've seen in a long time in a movie, because he is just got this Barney Fife-ish type attitude. Golly, you know, Sheriff Brody, what are we gonna do, Chief? He's bumbling, he's idiotic. The only scene he's good in is when Brody comes home drunk, and he feels sorry for him because Brody takes off his badge, puts it on the deputy. You're the new chief type of thing, and he feels bad. He feels uncomfortable. You know, it's not my fault type of thing. But then the next scene we see, he's back to, you know, Barney Fife, and it's just lame and stupid. This movie's 2 hours. You probably could have cut a half hour out of it. Jaws 1 was great, 2 hours long, maybe 2.5, I'm not sure. But you're into the research. You're into the exploration underwater. Here is just a bunch of kids fucking partying. You don't care. You know what I mean? Brody doesn't do that much. You don't care. That's the problem. Is Jaws 2 a bad movie? No. No. I'll tell you what. I was severely disappointed when I watched this, especially considering how great the original was. This one was just there. You could have cut out, I mean, I'm not going to praise the acting. They were just there. It was boring at parts. Could have cut out a half hour. The last 20 minutes is pretty good. You know what I mean? When the shark's actually attacking. It's just, Jaws 2 is just there. Major disappointment. Don't dislike it. I like it. I probably wouldn't own it, type of thing. So that's it. Like and subscribe, comment below, click the bell. Tell me what you think about Jaws 2, because a lot of people said this was a really good follow-up. I didn't see it. If you think it is a good follow-up, tell me why. You know, other than, like I said, other than the shark attacks. Oh, I was going to say this, the beginning scene with the divers, and you know, they're taking pictures of the orca, which was the boat from the first movie. They were eaten very comically, because the shark comes out of nowhere. You know, they're taking pictures. They get that last picture of the jaws, and as they're getting eaten, you get the close-up shots of the fish swimming towards the camera and them going like this. But then you literally see one of the divers like spinning around like a top. And then I knew right then and there, I'm like, I'm in for some trouble. But anyways, Jaws 2, not awful, not very good, not very entertaining. Speaking of that, I still have part 2, 3, and 4 to discuss. So maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, but we'll see you then. Hopefully I'll get that up tomorrow. Like I said, trying to get a different shark-related video every day for the rest of the week. God help me. Cheers.